Well, this has been the first year that I've had first years coming in at a higher mileage than most years. Most of the time, I guess just the guys that we recruited in previous years, they've come from lower mileage high school programs. So I know that, Freddie, Daniel, Sam have been guys that have come in about the mid-60s as far as their mileage, and we really haven't had that before. Guys like Patrick Hunter, Hank Patrick, they've both been guys who have probably stepped up about 10 to 15 miles more per week than what they were doing even a year ago. So I've been really pleased with the mileage progression. I feel like guys are handling that well, and I'm looking forward to how that's going to translate later in the season.
This preseason, I've learned that we've got a strong group coming back. We lost 3 seniors last year, 3 very important guys, but seeing the returners this year, I think we're set up to almost duplicate last season. The freshmen are looking real strong, and some of the gains that our returners have made have just been awesome. So looking for another good year.
Well, last year we had a big season, accomplished a lot of goals. We've been developing as a team for several years now under Spalding, but we don't want to be complacent. We know what our goals are this year, and we just love to replicate or even surpass some of the things we did last year.
We would be happy if we could replicate a season like that. It's going to take a lot to do it, but be competitive again at the conference level, be competitive with those top 2, 3, 4 teams in the regional level, and hopefully we can find our way back to the national championship come November.
Well, up to this point, we've all put in a lot of work this summer, and come the season, we hold ourselves accountable as a team, as individuals. So we know what we need to do. We know we just need to trust coach, trust our training, and put in the work, and we're going to be set up to accomplish a lot this year.
We want to make sure that early on in the season, we're concentrating on us. We're not necessarily worried about the competition we're up against in races. We really put a lot of benchmarks on our season. So when it comes to the end of September, we're racing at Lehigh at the Paul Short Invitational. It was a race that was very competitive last year, and we felt like we held our own. Again, on this year's schedule, that's the first benchmark in the season. Obviously we have big postseason goals as we get a little deeper into October and November. But first and foremost, we want to set that initial benchmark during the season and make sure we're taking the right steps along the way, whether it is working on tactics in races, whether it is grouping up as a team, or what we're doing just week in and week out in practice to make sure we're prepared for that next step. And once we make that first step of the season, it's really going to be, hopefully a good benchmark for what's coming next in the season when we go to Rowan and as we approach postseason.
Regionals. That's when everything comes together. All the other meets are great, but regionals is where it all counts and where the team really just puts it all on the line. So
I'm looking forward to Paul Short. That's our first time to really get after it and race. We'll have a couple tune-up efforts before that, but Paul Short will be our first real all-out effort. It'll kind of give us a benchmark of where we're at and see how we stack up in the conference and in the region again. So that's my first benchmark.